Dancer, Prancer, Nixon, Comet, Cupid, Donna Dixon.
Sit down, Simpson.
This is for the lesbian girls.
The morning stream. Bread goes in, toast comes out. You can't explain that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It's the morning stream. It is 1826. I just like to throw that number out once in a while to remind people how many episodes we've done. 1,826 episodes. This is the 13th of November, 2019. I'm Scott Johnson. He's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
That is a lot of episodes, Scott. A lot of episodes.
It is. Although, I don't know, if you think about it starting in 2011, it actually doesn't seem like that many. Like, the number itself doesn't seem like that big of a number, considering how long we've done this. But I guess it is. I don't know. Yeah, it's almost 2,000.
We've been doing this, all right, okay, so let's say, hold on, I'm gonna ask Siri a question here. Hold on.
Okay, go for it. Mute
How many days has it been since January 2011? And I can't remember the exact date.
Okay.
All right, so January, if we look at January 1st, 2011, that was 3,288 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
We've done this show easily more than half of those days.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy to think of. Don't do the math where it tells you how many average hours, because that's real scary.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, but keep in mind, I mean, for a while we weren't, we didn't start doing the Friday show until we started doing the Patreon, which was, 2013, 2014? I can't remember when we started doing the Patreon, but...
You ready for these hours? Listen to these hours.
No. Would you do a slash played?
No, well, sort of. I did the math. If we average an hour and a half, and I think that's low, on average, 2739. 2,739 hours. If you divide that by 24, 114.12 solid days of recording.
Crazy.
114 days of just, imagine 114 days of just 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day, recording nonstop every hour of the day, 24 hours a day, for 114 freaking days.
It's insane, Reno. And 3/4 of that is jury yelling, by the way. I'm doing the math also right here.
Yeah,
good job. Of that is
good job. Yeah,
is jury going long.
Pulled that math right out of your bum.
Yeah,
the jury will now retire.
Did you hear his thing? I haven't heard it yet. I feel bad.
Yeah, I listened to the first episode. A jury episode numbers. Let's start with that. Let's start with if you're going to put out 6 shows all on the same day, episode numbers might be a thing to do.
I like this early feedback we're giving him.
Yeah, I'm gonna email him the same thing.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet. I plan to today. I'm gonna paste that on into the old player there. Actually, so when you do that, is it just kind of jumbled, or how do you know where to start?
I went to the oldest show because I assumed that he uploaded them in that order, and unfortunately he did.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But I mean, they all have the same date on them, and it depends on your device. Also, jury, the plural of campaign is not campaign 'S. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah, it's just campaigns with an S at the end, right?
Yes, just campaign with the letter S.
Because that's like saying campaign is or
something that belongs to the campaign.
Yeah, the possession of the campaign. Yeah, those are both wrong. But look, he's a young upstart. He's got his world, the whole world ahead of him. It'll be fine.
No, but so far, it is a fascinating podcast. So I'm excited for him to make this real.
I am too. It seems like he's he said it yesterday, but it feels like he's taken some cards from the old ANTP ideas and deciding to branch out a little bit in that regard.
Yeah.
Which is funny
I can't wait to ding him on not committing to the bit.
Yeah, because you remember that host, Jenny Josephson? She used to host a long time ago. She used to judge, a long time ago. She used to be a judge on that show. You remember that? For like years ago? Anyway, just kidding, Jenny. We just miss you on there, that's all.
It's been a long time, Jenny. When are you coming back?
I guess it's only been 2 weeks, but it feels longer. But anyway, here's an excerpt from Justin's quality new podcast. Check it out.
they remove the penis before you snort it.
See that? I mean, that's just a taste. Just a taste of what's to come.
It's 6 hours of that,
Yep.
people.
Yep.
6 hours of that.
I mean, I know they said it when Serial happened, but I think now we can safely say podcasting is back, baby. It's back. All right, Brian, it's a brand new day. There's things to do and talk about. We're not going to get into it today because we're still sort of waiting for a few things, but there was some super sad news yesterday and really bummed me out. In fact, I couldn't sleep. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was still sort of tossing and turning about this thing that happened in the community. It's very sad. I'm not trying to, it's like a negative version of my Johnson polling here, but we'll make it known when we can. We just want to make sure family and things are aware of what's going on first, and then we would like to talk about it more. But if we seem a little, a little off or a little down today, that might be why. When you have a big community that lasts for a long time, I don't know. Sometimes sad stuff happens, and you're kind of caught off guard by it, and it's just like, I don't know. It feels like family. It's really rough.
Totally. If you're and if you're listening to this, you're a member of the Tadpool automatically. Just go to the Tadpool Facebook group, and you can check stuff out there, and then we'll.
It's all being talked about in the private group, and then when it opens up further, we can. I just didn't want to say anything on the air. Well, Brian and I talked about this last night. We just feel like it's better until everybody who's supposed to know knows.
Yep.
Just to give everybody the respect it deserves. But anyway, just a sad thing, and we're gonna keep. Here's the thing I know. The person involved in that sad thing, the subject of that sad thing, would want us to keep making this thing that they really liked. So
of course, absolutely.
We're going to keep doing that.
Yes.
I'm going to start today with a story because, not a story, but I'm going to read an email. And here's the thing.
An email, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we've talked on the show about how the recycling thing is changing, and they don't want paper towels anymore and weird stuff like that because
and snotty Kleenexes.
Yeah, because the Chinese
they don't want your snotty Kleenexes, Scott.
The Chinese don't want our stuff anymore, I guess. They don't want to pay for it in light of current tariffs or whatnot. That is my understanding on how this works, and for some reason, hold on a second.
Accurate.
I don't know why this is happening the way it is. Hold on. There it is. So as a result, we've had to change our habits in the house, and actually we figured something out. This is kind of a weird hybrid solution. So we have the recycling, which is now supposed to be only corrugated paper products, not actual. They don't want actual paper. They're telling us they don't want like printer paper. They don't want cereal boxes because there's too much ink in it. They don't want wrapping paper, and they don't want paper towels, and they don't want Kleenexes. Like stuff I was 100% sure all of those things were like totally the things you recycle. Like everything's made of those things, I thought.
Here's the one that surprised me because Tina had to slap my wrist on this one. But the kids get pizza all the damn time. Drives me nuts because that leftover pizza sits in the fridge.
Yeah.
And I go upstairs to have some lunch, and I have to move their pizza box to get to healthier options when it would just be so nice and easy for me to grab that pizza box, open it up, and take a slice. But,
right.
Pizza boxes not recyclable because of
no good.
Melted cheese on the box.
Yeah, and the grease that's in there and stuff. They don't want any of that. So it just got a lot more complicated. They'll still take plastic. They'll take bottles, that kind of stuff. But
glass,
but they're just not going to do the normal things that you think of. So as a result, or as a thing that we try to do here in the house, is we've now made a third pile because we found out if you cart a bunch of this stuff up to the university, they have a separate recycling program that will still take all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
wow,
we're kind of cheating the system a little bit in a positive way because we don't feel good about. I just don't feel good about putting, a cereal box in the freaking trash. It just feels wrong to me. So we're going to cart that up once in a while in the car because Kim's up with you once in a while doing something with Carter anyway. So it's no big deal for us to do that. I'm going up Thursday night to teach a class. So it's like, we'll take it up.
Here
Thursday
you go,
night.
Students. Here is a Captain Crunch box full of snotty Kleenexes.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to do that. And anyway, we got this email. So this sheds some light on this whole issue, right? It says, and I didn't get a name. I apologize for this. I don't even know where I got it. I can't find the name anywhere. But the email with no name says, I heard you speak about recycling and trash the other day on TMS. My wife works for a city in Texas that does a lot with recycling. I wanted to share some info about recycling I have learned from her that surprised me. So here you go. Okay. Recycling in the U.S. and around the world functions more in step with market forces than you think. Things like the high cost of landfill space, put positive pressure on municipalities to recycle. So cities like San Francisco and New York City are much more likely to have complex recycling programs because it reduces costs, versus places like Texas or Utah where space is relatively plentiful and therefore cheap. Another thing that impacts recycling is whether it contaminates or makes the act of recycling more difficult. Good examples are, and this is where he goes into what we just talked about, good examples are paper towels and pizza boxes or plastic bags. Paper towels and pizza boxes, though recyclable, can contaminate other recyclables. China and other recyclers have been lowering the level of contamination they will accept. Also, plastic bags get caught in machinery, and they aren't really in demand from a recycling perspective. That is the last thing to think about. Most things only get recycled if somebody actually wants to turn it into something else. So just because just because things are recyclable doesn't mean they will be. So that's interesting. I never would have thought of that. Because I assume, let's say they don't want, or let's say they don't plan on making any more plastic bottles out of plastic bottles. This is a bad example.
Sure.
But that would be a thing I would just assume that you would use for a myriad of other things. Like, doesn't it end
something
up in
else, right?
Like,
yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't
and
have to be turned into the same thing. They turn milk jugs into plastic grocery bags and things like that. But how is there not a demand? Like, did somebody, like, all of a sudden some company said, I think we've got enough plastic bottles.
Yeah.
Let's go back to just creating plastic.
Sure. Like, maybe, I don't know actually how that works, but it's very weird. I
almost think that, like, it should be the recycling company that takes all this stuff in, turns it into pulp or turns it into the raw materials, and then the companies just, who use those raw materials just come and get it or come and buy it from them, right? So it's basically like, all right, we're coming out with a brand new soft drink and we need some recycled plastic for the bottles. Go to the obviously I'm simplifying it, but order some more of that plastic bottle material from the recycling center and we're gonna put it in our machines.
It's so funny because modern society is so weird at this. It's like we don't see the result of it all. Like, okay, you use the toilet all week. It's convenient. You flush it. Your waste goes away. Off into the la-la land. You don't even know where because you're not paying attention. It doesn't matter. You're in there and you're out of there. Back in the day, you had to dig your own hole. You had to build a thing on top of it. Like, you had to go, pretty deep, and you had to, think about that stuff. Like, that's an example. Like, the amount of trash that they picked up today, the trash guy picked up 2 giant cans out in front of my yard. One was super full because I threw out a bunch of stuff. And I kept thinking to myself, man, every week I do that. Every week, everybody does that. Now, look, I'm not out humping trees or anything. Okay, I'm not like having a woke moment here or anything. But I think I'm having some perspective on just how much stuff we are constantly throwing away or pushing away, or, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
Eventually, we're just not going to have room for it all, right? I mean, it's just a lot of shit. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Pops and Recline nails it, I guess. Until oil prices rise, it's cheaper and more consistent to manufacture new materials instead of producing things using recycled raw materials.
Right.
It's a bummer. It's a real. It's sad, man. It's like, that's not the way it should work.
I don't like it. It's because it's all meant to. It's like he says, it's about market conditions. It's wrapped around trying to keep economies going, and I understand that. But I don't know. It's really made me think about it lately. Anyway, he finishes out. He says there's some great videos on YouTube out there. CBC Marketplace went to Asia a few months ago to see what actually happens. Rim recycling gets shipped overseas. Now This Future is the name of the series. One Small Step is also another, which has a lot of videos on waste and attempting to live sustainably. Anyway, hope this helps. Love the show. And I didn't get their name. I apologize for not having your name. Anyway,
I think Now This Future is the YouTube channel, and the series is called One Small Step.
Yeah, so One Small Step. There you go.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Very nice.
So pretty soon, coming to you, your Amazon packages will arrive wrapped in Scott's snotty Kleenexes and greasy paper towels.
I mean, yeah, like Get excited, guys! Finally, the day has come.
Finally, and Brian's son's gross cheesy pizza box.
There you go. Is he? See, if he's like Nick at all, there's always a pizza box in the fridge with old pizza in it. Like that's just a perpetual truth.
It totally is,
Yeah.
and it's so inconvenient. I mean, it takes up so much damn space.
It does. A pizza box was not meant for standard, average fridges. Now you got some kind of walk-in fridge at a restaurant. Great, stack them up, stack them high. Who gives a shit? Sorry,
Right.
Nicole, I keep saying the word. But if you got a normal ass pizza or normal ass fridge and you're trying to stick that in there, everything's disrupted. Where's the milk?
Yeah.
Well, I had to jam it in the back because it was in the way.
The pizza box, or actually, the pizza box is now balanced on top of the milk and a couple of other juice bottles. And so, if you want one of those juice bottles, you better figure out, you better Indiana Jones your way into putting something else there to support that pizza box, or it's going to be rolling down and chasing you through the cave, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know
what I mean,
you
Scott.
I know what you mean. We got a quick correction. You want to tell me about the Tadpole Secret Santa again and why there's a correction? What's going on with that?
Yeah, yesterday I said the Tadpole Secret Santa was put together by TMS Mashups Jamie. No, that's Jamie Brand. This is Jamie Wright who put together the Tadpole Secret Santa. So Jamie Wright, if you're listening, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But still, people go do your Tadpole Secret Santa. And
where's that link? Here it is. bit.ly/TadSanta2019. There it is.
There you go.
I signed up. I'm in now.
Sure. Oh, and people are like, why not just take the pizza out of the box? Look, I do that. Tina does that.
Oh yeah, I do that.
We're dealing with 21 and 22-year-olds who can't be bothered, who find it is more convenient to precariously balance the pizza box in the fridge like it's some sort of Arctic Jenga than to take the pizza out of the box, put it into
Arctic Jenga.
tinfoil or plastic bags or whatever. Okay?
Arctic Jenga is a great idea. I love that. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, I have a 19-year-old who's just, shove it in there. He gets wings. Where do they go? I don't know. Jam it between 12 other things that are now precariously hanging on for dear life. Like, that's how he does it. Or he leaves big open containers over here just with, like, rotting chicken. I'm about to kill him for this. He's the worst at that because, he comes home. He works really hard. He had to leave this morning at 6 a.m. for a truck run for this company he works for Red Wing. And he's in charge of it, and it's awesome, and they're giving him all this cool responsibility. And he is always up to do it. He does it. He gets it done. But then he'll come home today with a bag of food he got somewhere that's not great, a big old, Popeye's chicken bag or something. Right. And he'll come down here, and he'll play Call of Duty and eat that chicken and then leave half of it, and then overnight it'll sit there and just get disgusting. And then I have to worry, did any of the dogs get in here and eat the chicken and get the bones stuck in their larynx and die? Like, kids, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and boy, you get firsthand, like this is Scott right here seeing firsthand the differences between sons and daughters in cleanliness and taking care of, their surroundings. And
my daughters never did this. They were Carter's she's still here. She doesn't do it. And then Taylor, you go to Taylor's house, clean as a button. Like they were always just like picking themselves up. They maybe had their own challenges, but this is definitely
sure.
It feels like a boy thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I of course says, my daughter is a slob. Yes, but multiply that times 10, and that's the slobliness of a son.
Yeah, and if your daughter's a slob, she's an outlier. I think it's more common. I'm not saying everybody's the same. I'm just saying boys are commonly gross. And I was gross too, dude. Like growing up, I was terrible. I had no room to talk. I had a messy room. I would put stuff in the fridge it shouldn't be. I'd drink old milk and then spit it on the floor and then forget to wipe it all up. Like I was a bad steward of my young years at my mom's house. No question. Anyway, check this out.
One other quick thing.
Yeah.
Watched half. Disney tries to be nice to me and makes Mandalorian even less than an hour. Like it's like 35 minutes or something like that. I still start getting tired halfway through watching it and have to go to sleep. So I've only watched half of The Mandalorian. However, I freaking love it already.
Oh wow! When did you?
Yeah.
Why were you so tired? Was it late or something?
Because I made it my watch before bed show. So we watch the first few minutes of the news. We turn off the TV. Tina goes right to sleep. I put up the iPad in my lap and I start watching something, and I got started with The Mandalorian, and it is really good. Like,
that's what I keep hearing.
Really good.
Keep hearing it's the space western I want, and I'm so excited to. I was supposed to watch it last night, but everything got too crazy. We had the kids over and stuff was going on, and then that thing happened last night.
I saw you watching a ton of Simpsons stuff though. Like,
Yeah,
are you watching that on Disney Plus?
Yeah, I had that on during the day.
Okay.
Just in the background, kind of going, and while I got work done, and I would look at it occasionally and listen to it and stuff. And I'm just going. I'm starting season 1. That's just going to be my thing that's on all the time for the rest of eternity.
That's your soul, your comfort food binge.
Yeah, I'm excited about having all of that there. But something that's funny about that, speaking of Nick, I realized that when the Santa's Little Helper sort of Christmas special thing that launched that show came out, I was Nick's age. I was freaking 19 when that happened.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. I was, right. I would have been the same age. That is nuts.
Yeah, and I told Nick the same thing, and he goes, "Whoa." I said, "Yeah, I was your age," and because he loves The Simpsons, so to him it's, still a thing for him. Mm-hmm. And so he doesn't think of it in those terms. I'm like, yeah, dude, I was, well before you were on this planet. And then I said, what did I say? Oh, and I said, Nick, you've been alive for 2/3 of it. And that his brain went like spinning out of control. You couldn't believe it.
Crazy.
2/3 of it were part of his life. So anyway,
that's
it's kind of
cool.
crazy.
Oh, and Anna Krakatow says the Jeff Goldblum show had a good start too. Yeah, that's probably the second thing I'm going to watch on Disney Plus is that Jeff Goldblum thing. He's got a brand new album, dude. It's great. Like, Jeff freaking Goldblum has a jazz album out where he plays piano while Inara George from The Bird and the Bee. Who else is on? Fiona Apple.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does he sing too, or no?
He does sing. There's
he
a couple
does.
songs where he sings.
Does he just talk at all? Is there any
Let me
kind
tell
of?
you about chaos theory. The chaos theory. You drop a. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to workshop by Jeff Goldblum.
We asked if we could. We should have asked if we should. I think that's great. Although he dusted up a little controversy ahead of his show debut, because I guess he's on the bandwagon of. He wants to work with Woody Allen or something. It's not like a full Me Too piece of business or anything, as far as I know.
He wants to work with Woody Allen.
Yeah, and he thinks people are too hard on Woody Allen, and that kind of thing. And so there's a lot of people who are really fired up about that right ahead of the launch.
I thought you were about to tell me that he says the moon landing was fake. Like that. Yeah. Of course, the moon landing. Yeah, you do realize.
Fake. You realize that's fake, and they
moon landing. Yeah. Exactly. Rainbow Bright's like, yeah, Jimmy Stewart. I know. That's where I got to get it away from. That's why I gotta do some serious Jeff Goldblum listening to separate him from Jimmy Stewart, because I do start moving into Jimmy Stewart territory when I start doing the impersonation.
What if he came out and went, "The Holocaust never happened"?
Exactly, right?
That would be bad. That would be bad.
Whatever. I'm all right with people believing things differently than well, let me phrase it completely differently. I'm all right with people believing things that are completely not true.
Right. As long as they don't, I don't know. What would push you off of him? If you were like, man, I really like that Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously, if he, did something, groped a woman without her permission, or hey, I'm going to go out and lock you in this room for a little while. That sort of thing.
I mean, if he that was still very James Stewart, but I like
still James Stewart. I know. Where is it? It's the almost the shushin, like trying to pull in the mouth. Mary, I'm gonna reach up and lasso the moon for you, Mary.
Yeah.
But then you've got to kind of open it up for Jeff Goldblum, and you can't do the. Yeah.
Oh,
I got to work on it.
You got to work. Don't worry. It's why it's a workshopping. You have a period of time where this isn't part of your full set yet. You can work on it.
You can hear the process. I'll do it on Twitch Live. You can hear me work on the process of workshopping my Goldblum impersonation.
I think it would I even if he was a Holocaust denier, or if he was a flat earther and was actively so, I think that'd be enough to push me off of Jeff Goldblum for a while.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It would be for me, because all it does is feed like just a really shitty part of society, and I don't like it. So it would be hard for me. Not in any sort of like, I need to cancel him from my culture. I don't mean that. I mean, like, would I still enjoy Ragnarok? Would I still enjoy Jurassic Park? Of course I would, but I'd be thinking about him. I'd be going, oh, that guy with his freaking...
Oh, see, you know what? People who believe the Earth is flat, it's kind of on them. It's not on us, right? I mean, it's, you're only hurting yourselves, flat earthers.
I guess so. Yeah, flat Earth maybe is a bad example. Okay,
it's an innocuous.
If it's Holocaust denying, then
yes. Holocaust denying, I would absolutely that would put me off of.
That's trouble.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that's a whole. That's 6 million people dead.
Maybe anti-vax. Yeah, I think anti-vaxxing would do it for me too. Like, oh, Jeff, no, dude, no.
Oh, we're gonna get emails about that. You should hear the person
Whatever.
that's mad at Patrick right now because Patrick made some comment on the instance, and we got a anti-vaxxer who wrote in that was just the most on fire, angry person I've ever dealt with. I of course forwarded it straight to Patrick and dealt with it not at all.
Be my guest. Yeah. I don't think I've gotten. Have I gotten any hate mail on this show? Like, have you gotten stuff, people hating on me that you haven't forwarded to me?
The most that would have ever amounted to would have been like, I remember there was a guy who didn't like your voice, which is so stupid, so I didn't forward it because that's dumb. There was someone once.
I like his voice either.
There was somebody about. There was something not political, something. It's the same as everything else, though. You just happened to be the one that said a thing, and so you were the target. That's all it was. It's usually me, so it's fine. It's totally fine. All right.
I want to say something. Give me something controversial. Hold on a second. Let me work on this.
We got something good? Let's do it.
Corn nuts are the devil's testicles.
Oh, that.
All right, there we go.
I mean, who am I to argue with like such a truth bomb, though? That's such a great truth bomb.
I actually really like corn nuts.
I do too. They're so bad for your teeth. You can pop a tooth out with one, and also you smell like a freaking dirty pair of 12-year-old socks. But
bag of bulk right there. Bag of bulk corn nuts.
But they're so good.
They're good. They're not super Weight Watchers friendly, so I'm taking this bag upstairs and giving it to Tina.
Oh, are they high? What are they? Carby, or I don't know what they are.
Salty. Salt ain't good.
Yeah, I learned yesterday. Quinoa is really good alternative to rice for me because I'm trying to cut out the carbs. And then what's the other one? There was another one I never heard of. It was like abracadabra, some weird name for a new grain thing. I can't remember the name. Damn it, I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
Amaranth? Oh, that's it, amaranth.
Amaranth, okay.
I'd never heard of amaranth before, and Kim was like, oh yeah, we're going to totally get some of that. So
I don't know if I know what amaranth is.
Yeah, and also, brown rice is like less, what's the word? It's more complex carbs, less just like pure like white flour carb type carby carbs.
Yeah, but brown rice is still, that's my go-to if I'm like going to like Qdoba, Chipotle. Here's what you do. And people, listen, you might be tempted to say, oh, I'll go to Chipotle or Qdoba. I'll do I just won't get cheese. I won't get sour cream. Here's the problem. They use thigh meat in their chicken, not breast meat. So it's actually better for you to do the steak, than it is the chicken, and then just load up on the friggin' corn and pepper salsa, and no, dang it, I think I'm going there for lunch today.
Good. That's Qdoba you like? Qdoba?
Like Qdoba, yeah, Qdoba. Brown rice, half the amount of brown rice, double the black beans, steak. The corn salsa with the peppers and the cilantro in it, sliced jalapenos, cilantro, and purple onions. Give it to me.
You've got me. I'm in.
Give it to me now.
Yep.
And then hot sauce that mofo up.
Yeah. You like the hotter the better, or how do you feel
I like the Chipotle Tabasco.
Oh, all right. That sounds all right.
Yeah.
We're kind of.
It's weird that I know Chipotle is a flavor, not just a restaurant, but. It's funny that Qdoba has Chipotle Tabasco. This is like, Burger King serving McDonald's ketchup.
Yeah, it is. That reminds me, our buddy Eric Van Skyhawk always does and still does call, when he says Chipotle, he says Chipotle. You can't help it.
Yeah, it's easier to say.
Yeah, just Chipotle
That
always
TL.
comes right out of your mouth every time.
Right, Chipotle.
It's very odd. Now this.
Chipotle.
All right, everybody. Time for us to dig deep into the Babble Royale that is the Babble Royale with Brian Dunaway is on the phone. Hello.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. I haven't been on the phone in years, but I am on this Discord channel.
Oh.
Yay!
Hey, that brings up a good question. How often do you guys use your phones as a phone? It's pretty rare for me. It's like my immediate family, and once in a while, like if I got to talk to, I don't know. It's very rare that my phone is actually a phone.
The only people I call
once a day
on my
average.
Yeah, once a day on average for me too, but it's only because I call grandma, and that's the only way. Like, there's text messaging, forget about it. So yeah, I still have a phone, but it's just legacy.
Yeah, do you think she's just not with the let's figure out how to type this with my bony old hands kind of thing?
No,
or is she...
no. I mean, Scott, let's face it, our vision sucks. Can you imagine 20 more years? I mean, your vision's gonna really suck with the text.
It'll keep getting worse unless you get you know what? I actually wish cataracts on people because the surgery is easy and successful, and you end up with like way better eyesight than you had before. Like I had worse eyesight in high school than I do now because of that surgery. So as much as it seemed like weird genetic early cataracts, how weird. It's in my 40s. What's this about? You're supposed to be 80 or whatever. Turned out to be the best freaking thing.
Well, if they would just hurry up and get on with the pitch black Vin Diesel polish into the eyeballs, we'd all be good.
Oh right, I forgot about those. Those are cool.
Let's get that and get that as well.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to see them.
Polish my balls, please.
You guys don't
Thank
like.
you.
You guys like that movie, right? I think I'm the only one that doesn't like it. I don't.
It was
like
it was the first time I had ever
I am
seen Vin
indifferent to
Diesel.
it.
Brian's indifferent.
Oh, really?
That's kind of how I am as indifferent. Yeah, not into it. The sequel I liked more, which is not a good
Riddick.
movie. It's not a great movie, but Riddick was fun.
Yeah.
So,
I can't think of the first. What was my first Vin Diesel film?
What was my
Or-
first Vin Diesel
What was
experience?
the first thing I saw him in?
That guy's name is Vin Diesel. What?
I think my first may have been that. Maybe it was that. No, it was what's the 90s movie Shaving Ryan's Privates? Right?
was
Saving
it?
Ryan Private.
Okay,
Private
the
Ryan.
first time I knew who Vin Diesel was in Pitch Black. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, because I'd heard him in Iron Giant, and I still didn't. I
Yeah,
thought I knew who he was before that, though.
You thought you knew? Oh, before Iron Giant. Well, before Iron Giant, for me, it would have been that. It would have been It would have been Shaving Ryan's Privates, I think.
Iron Giant was 99.
It was like
Chronicles of Riddick.
96.
Yeah.
When he got shot in the little French villa place because he tried to save that girl in Ryan's Privates.
Right. Yeah, it must have been it.
Private
That probably
Ryan.
was it. Weird. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now we've
I
learned.
just didn't think about it then. I guess at the.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I
guess.
said, it wasn't until Pitch Black who I actually looked him up and said, "Who is this actor? I must know more about him."
Well, he's bald and scary. So
Yes.
Ha-
Good
Bill-
thing today's Babble Royale is not name Vin Diesel movies.
yeah. How many triple
That
X's
would've
are
been
there?
fun.
2. All right. We're gonna take this call here and see who we have on the line. Hi. Thanks for waiting. Who's this?
This is Big Rob. How you doing today?
Good, Big Rob. How
Hey,
are
Big
you?
Rob.
Is Little Rob taken, or are you just? Has it always been Big Rob?
It's always been Big Rob.
I like it.
It used to be Little Robin, but then I got big and became
Oh.
Big Rob.
Nice.
Nice.
I always.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
Where are you from, Big Rob?
Yeah.
I'm from Southern California, right by Simi Valley.
Nice.
Oh, ooh, are you staying safe? Are you
Away from
are you,
fires.
Oh, yeah.
you breathing a lot of smoke? Okay.
Yeah, no, we got an industrial hemp field, so everybody's breathing a lot of smoke.
Nice. Oh, a different kind of smoke. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
That's
that's what people won't care so much about the fire when they're breathing that.
That's why Big Rob sounds so chill right now. He's feeling good. Well, Big Rob, it's good to have you here. I always want a friend named Big Rob just to kind of have him around, scare off
Now you got one.
people.
Will you be Scott's friend, Big Rob?
Oh,
Yeah, you cool with that, Big Rob?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, I'll be Big Rob friend.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, Brian's going to explain the rules of this thing and how you could win and what you could win, Brian.
That's right, Scott. I'm going to be giving you, Scott Johnson and Brian Dunaway, a topic, and you guys are going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win is going to go to the other player. Big Rob, your big job is to predict who's going to come out on top based on the topic today. You are playing for the carryover prize from Monday, the very last pair of CDs from Dizzy Box9 and Tren Selva, a couple of great artists that we played on India in the Middle. Plus, we're carrying over Nairi, Tower of Shirin, and we're adding Battletech and Hell's Blade, Senua's Sacrifice. All three of those games on Steam, as well as a pair of CDs. Ooh, this prize package is just getting bigger and bigger, and it could be yours, Big Rob.
It's a big package for Big Rob.
A very big package.
Yeah. What's our topic? I'm so excited.
Your topic today is kind of a parallel to the topic we had on Monday. The Atari 2600 was released in 1977, and it was the first home game console for many people. It sold 30 million units. 30 million units! But there are 17 consoles that have sold more than 30 million units.
So this is a lot like the last one, except it's not about... No, this is
not about lower than the Dreamcast.
Right.
Now we want to go higher than the 2600.
Than the 2600.
Right. Still with us, Brian Dunaway?
Brian, you there?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't put my mic back down. I was breathing.
I'm sorry. You busy Googling? What are you doing?
No, I was eating my half Reuben sandwich. All right.
All right. Sounds all right.
Ooh,
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you do? Do you do the sauerkraut, or do you?
Yeah, I shouldn't, but I do.
Well-
The way I do it, I take half the bread off, and I still have the sauerkraut. It's around 400 calories, lots of fat, lots of sodium, but I can do that occasionally.
Yeah, but listen, because the sauerkraut's actually good for you because it's like a pickled thing and it's great for your guts. So
It's a pickle thing.
you should keep that in there. I have a sound of Brian eating that. Hold on. That's what he does when he eats it.
That's what I do right before I eat it.
Sniffs it right before. Make sure it's safe.
Yeah. That sounds right. All right, so more than the 2600. Can you give me that number again, the sales volume one more time?
30 million units. So
Okay.
things that have sold more than 30 million units. And just to clarify, handhelds are included.
Oh, they are.
Oh, well, good.
Thank you.
They are included, yes.
All right. Well, Rob, who do you think's going to win and who should start?
All right. Well, the 17 best-selling consoles by volume. So I want, let's see here, Brian to host, Brian to start, and Scott to win.
All right.
Fair enough.
Got it. Perfect. So, wait, he said Brian to start. Brian, you got to go
Brian
first
to
then.
start, yes. Me to host.
You to host.
Brian to start.
Yeah,
You're in luck. I'm gonna go ahead and host just for you this
Yep.
time, Rob.
that's great.
Right? All right, so I'm going to start with the thing that I started to say the other day, and I would have gotten it wrong. So I'm going to go with the best-selling console of all time, PlayStation 2.
PlayStation. Yeah, the PlayStation 2, 155 million units plus. That is the best-selling console of all time, released in 2000.
It did well.
1000.
You know what's funny, though? Well, we don't have to talk about it now. It's funny because I was just say this. The PlayStation 2, for all its, like, ultimate spot on the list popularity, it's actually kind of hard, with a couple of exceptions, for people to think of games that were must-haves and 100% classics from that era.
Yeah,
Like, you could say
the life of that console was insane, and the length by which they kept releasing games is just crazy.
it's just hard to pick one out and go, oh yeah. I mean, you could say Shadow of the Colossus was an amazing game, sure, and Ico is an amazing game. There's definitely some exceptions to what I'm saying, but it's not like a Nintendo console where you're like, oh, Ocarina of Time, oh, Mario 64. Like, it just doesn't have that stuff going on. Anyway, it's just interesting conversation. We should probably have on a Boop Show one day. All right.
Ooh.
Scott's turn, and he will now say,
Yum yum. I'm gonna yum. Go ahead.
wow,
That was the noise Scott was making. I loved it.
I'm gonna go Nintendo DS.
The Nintendo DS, that is the second best-selling console handheld of all time. Released in 2004, 154.02 million units, so just under the number from the PlayStation 2.
Just under.
Just under.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna go with the PlayStation Original.
PlayStation Vanilla, right? Is the one you're saying?
Yep.
Right.
1994, 102.49 million units
Jeez.
for the PlayStation
Not too shabby.
Uno.
I had at least 4 of those
Yeah.
Yeah, because they keep freaking breaking.
because I kept modding them. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Soldering them chips.
You were into it. I remember you were a huge modder when you and I met.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Stuff you were doing with the
Modded,
OG
baby.
Xbox was crazy.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to put let's stay in Sony territory and let's say the PlayStation 4. The current gen model is.
Get that one out of the way. Yes, 102 million, 0.8 million units, so just in front of the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 4, released
Okay.
in 2013.
All right.
Seems like so long ago, but
Right.
It's
I'm
really
gonna
just
I'm
5
gonna keep
minutes.
it easy by saying PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3, let's get it out of the way too. Just over 87.4 million units. The PlayStation 3 released in 2006.
Did you have the special edition Spider-Man one?
No.
Anybody?
No, I would have loved to. Yeah, the one. It's funny because it was the exact same logo. The PlayStation 3 logo
Yeah.
was the Spider-Man logo.
Yeah.
No, you think if
PlayStation
anyone
3
would have a special edition Spider-Man anything, it would be me, but
Right.
I didn't.
Possibly the ugliest console of all time, the PlayStation 3.
Yes, with that stupid bulge, you could not put anything on top of the freaking
Nothing goes on top of me.
PlayStation 3. Yeah.
Not level anyway.
Nope, that's true. Let's get the Game Boy out of the way. The OG Game Boy.
Oh.
OG Game Boy. The Wikipedia lists Game Boy and Game Boy Color together, so I'm glad you said one of those first.
Oh, good.
I guess you would have had to say one of them because you couldn't say both of them at the same time first. 1989 and 1998 for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color together, selling 118.69 million units.
Okay.
Units.
I had
Units,
my
units,
favorite. One of
units.
my favorite consoles was that Color because I had Mario Golf on it, and I had worked at a place that I hated being at, and so I would go to the bathroom and spend a lot of time playing Mario Golf on a Game Boy Color.
That's awesome. They
Yeah.
probably thought you were doing something else.
Probably. All right, Brian, it's on you, buddy.
Did you have the yellow one, Scott? Was
I
it
did.
the yellow Game Boy
I
Color?
did. It
Yeah.
was totally yellow.
Yeah.
That's my. It's not here,
That's
but
the
my
best one.
my
I
new
have the clear purple one.
my new Switch is.
I had the clear purple one as well.
My new Switch is also yellow. I
both.
always go yellow if they make it. Big,
Do you?
Big
Okay.
fan. Oh yeah,
Interesting.
love that color. It's
a
my
great
color.
color.
It's my color. All right, Brian.
All right. B. Dunny.
I'm a yeller. That way, when you pee on it, you can't see it. I'm gonna go with the Wii. Speaking of pee,
Speaking of P, the Wii. Very good. Yes. 101.63 million units on the Wii. Came out in 2006.
All right.
I've lost mine, and I'm not too bent out of shape about it.
oh,
The 360 is in there. The Xbox 360.
well,
The
yeah.
Xbox 360. The very next one on the list, as a matter of fact, 2005. Just over 84 million units on the Xbox 360.
In that era, a highly successful device.
Absolutely. Another one that you had to constantly replace because of that stupid red ring of death.
Yep, I ended up with 3 in the end. 3 total. 2 red rings of death. It sucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And
how-
a big ass brick
Yep.
that it plugged into the wall, like a plug that went to the stupid brick, a big noisy hot brick.
Yeah,
and
that
then
thing
went to
was.
your Xbox.
That thing. I was sure we were all gonna be sterile walking past that thing. It was so big. Yeah, not good. All right, Dunaway.
I'm gonna go with the. How about the SNES? No, wait. I'm gonna go with yes. I'm going with the SNES.
the SNES.
Yeah.
49.1 million units on the SNES, 1990. It is on the list.
You're not gonna say where on the list, though, are you?
I will if you want. 1, 2, 3, because these aren't numbered, unfortunately.
Right, because we know it's what'd you say the Atari was?
13th on the list out of 17, and you guys have already cleared out the first 8, if that helps.
Oh.
Okay. I'm worried I'm gonna dip below the. Well, there are 17 that exceed the number. So there are.
There are
It's not.
17 that are more than 30 million.
Okay.
Yes.
all right.
We've only named 8. Holy Moses.
No, you've named 9.
9. Okay. We've only named 9.
I was like, oh, 9. Well, then
9?
that's fine.
Oh, 9. Okay.
9. Schnell. All right. Did we say the? Ooh, I better be careful here.
Yeah, this is more where what has been said already than thinking of consoles that have sold more than 30 million.
Well, I know the Xbox One, even though it hasn't didn't do like it did before, and it's in a bad place compared to Sony. I think that one's over 30. So Xbox One.
46.9 million units on the Xbox One. Yep, just over. Microsoft's box came out in 2013.
Nice. Still a success. Still a success. Not what they wanted, but still good. Yeah. What do you got there, Dunaway?
I have one. I keep going. We talked about it, but did we talk about it?
Oh,
we talked about it, but did we talk about it?
I hate that.
Right.
It starts to be like film sack movies. We don't know if we've done it yet.
We talked about the Switch, but we didn't say the Switch, right?
Correct. We have not said the Switch. Well, I shouldn't tell you that.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I was going for it anyway.
Okay, good. Go say that.
Yeah,
say
that.
So 41.67 million units on the Switch and growing. Really? Came out 2017.
Still selling like crazy.
Number 15 on the list.
2017 or 2016, I thought. Wasn't that 2016?
This says 2017, but
could have sworn I was playing Zelda in late 2016, playing Breath of the Wild. I could be wrong, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, I wonder how the lights are doing. I assume well. All right, forget about that.
How are the lights?
All right, I was a hardcore Genesis boy. I have to think that somewhere in the top 17.
I'm sorry, Scott.
Shut up.
Sega Genesis. Sega. Yeah. 35 million units, 1988. 16th on the list, and the Nintendo Switch came out March 3rd, 2017.
Oh my gosh.
You probably pre-ordered it.
Barely.
You probably pre-ordered it in 2016.
That's Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember. Well, that's good. Then the Switch is newer than we think.
Right.
All right.
I wasn't listening as well as I should have when Scott was going through his handhelds. And I can't remember if he said it, but I feel like everybody on the planet owned a Nintendo 3DS.
A 3DS. Everybody did. 75.45 million of those were sold. 2011 is when it came out, the Nintendo 3DS.
Scott did not say it.
He did not say it.
Popular device.
That's right.
We didn't say this one yet, I don't think, or I hope I don't screw this up, but the NES is on there. Right?
That was the next one I was going to go for.
Yeah.
12th on the list. 61.91 million units of those sold, just under the Nintendo 3DS, as a matter of fact.
We're getting real close here.
I'm telling you, I'm going down my mental list.
There are 3 that you have not said yet.
Okay. So I'm going to stay in the Nintendo area because it always usually sells pretty well. I can't think of any big bombs except for the Wii U. I don't think that would be up there. How about NES? I said the SNES. Did we say the Nintendo 64? I'm going for the Nintendo 64. 64!
Nintendo 64. Just over the number, 33.93 million.
I'm just glad Scott didn't say it. Really? That's all it had?
1996. Yeah, just barely more than the 2600.
Oh, yeah, it's earlier generation stuff.
I was very, very seesaw on that one. So I'm glad you took the bullet because I was not sure.
That is the 17th in this list. So the 2 that you're missing, I'll tell you right now, the 2 that you're missing are 9th and 10th, it looks like.
Okay.
So
God, I mean, we've done just almost every Nintendo console that I can think of, or at least I think Scott said them.
All right, I'm going to say the this is a risky one, but I can't think of any more, so I'll say the PSP, PlayStation Portable.
The PlayStation Portable?
Mm-hmm.
Really, Scott?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Is it?
80 million of those were sold. It came out in 2004.
Oh!
I had the original. Yes. I had the original black one, and then I had the
Everybody I knew had a PSP.
Yeah, I had a PSP. Wait, Dunaway, didn't I sell you my PSP?
Yes, I've owned at least 3 PSPs, and I could not modify those at all. They had the slim and the regular big fat, and then the second gen. Holy Moses!
Yeah, I sold mine to Dunaway. I forgot about that.
So Caller has automatically won. Brian Dunaway can name the last item on the list and have a clean sweep. But
Oh,
regardless,
so he wins either way. Either Brian gets this wrong and loses, or
right, or he gets it right.
He gets
and
it
we
right,
clear
and
the
we
list.
wins either way. This is great.
Exactly,
Okay, Dunaway,
yes.
give it your best there, bud.
Give it. Oh wow.
Can't believe
I
we
mean,
did
we've
this.
done all the play. I think I can't think of any more PlayStations. We did. We did the one.
You're also crazy that people modified the hell out of the PSP.
No. I said I never.
Oh, you
modified
never
it.
did.
I didn't say people. It was in my rear view at that point.
Oh,
by
I
the time
gotcha.
I was
Okay.
modifying
Gotcha.
stuff.
Sure.
I was too busy collecting UMD disc.
Yeah,
Didn't have time
yeah.
for
Those really are.
modifications.
Those will get you a lot of
Yeah.
money these days.
I had
Right.
Fifth Element and Spider-Man on UMD.
Yeah,
right.
same. I had the exact and the little demo discs they had in there.
and the demo
Yeah.
disc, right?
Still have those somewhere.
All I've got left is we named all the Xboxes except for the original. I don't think it did that great, but that's all I got. Did it? did we ever
Xbox
say-
One.
Xbox,
No.
Xbox Zero.
The Xbox One,
I'm sorry,
right? The
the
Zero.
Xbox. Yeah, the Xbox. I guess Zero. right.
Original.
Yes.
Yeah.
I, That's what I meant when I said Xbox One. No, sorry.
Oh.
I'm curious as to how many of those sold. Let's see. Xbox.
Could have played this for you. Got that wrong.
Came out in 2001. Sold. Oh, where's the number? Here we go. Xbox console. Sold 24 million, a little over 24 million. So just under
Oh!
the 2,600.
I know the one we
Wow.
forgot. I know it. Can I say
What
it?
is it? Say it.
The only one we didn't say is the Game Boy Advance GBA.
That's correct. The GBA.
The Game
came
Boy
out in
Advance.
2001.
Thought you said that
80
one.
No.
Nope, nobody said the Game Boy Advance. A little square jobber. All right. No, that was the DS.
No.
That
So
was the
that was the Game Boy
SP.
Advance.
That
yeah,
was
no.
the Game Boy
So
Advance
it
SP.
changed. The first Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance was like widescreen,
Yes.
and
right.
then not widescreen, wide device, and it had no backlight. You'd buy those
Yeah, that
stupid
was such a
plug-in
pain.
things; they were terrible. And then the remake of that thing was the clamshell version, which was
Yeah.
the
SP.
SP, and the SP was still maybe one of the finest designs anyone's ever
I
made.
love, the SP. And this one combines the two, by the way, the Game Boy Advance and the SP, because the SP alone sold 43 million units. So
Wow.
altogether, it sold 81.5 million.
I almost said GameCube. Is GameCube
Anytime.
there? Or obviously
I thought
it's
we
not on the list,
said
but
GameCube not on the list, obviously.
say
yeah,
GameCube?
where is it?
Best Nintendo, best console. My most
Worldwide,
favorite.
21 million only.
It's not great.
Wow.
It's not great.
No.
It was a rough year for them. Rough
Yeah.
couple of years. I had one and loved it, but whatever. Wind Waker is still one of the greatest video games ever made. But here's the best part of all this, and that's this. Hold on.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
That means that
All
Big
right.
Big Rob is a winner. Rob, well done, dude. Your faith was well placed, but also you were going to win either way by the end, and that was awesome. Plus, I love the subject, so nice job. You've just made all our days better, Big Rob. Here's what you have to do, though. If you want all those prizes to come to you, you have to email Brian, coverville@gmail.com. He will send them to you, and you will be the
That's
happiest
true.
guy in all of Simi Valley. Congratulations.
Yes.
All right, brother, man. You have yourself a good day, Brian. Brian, it's been a pleasure.
All right, we'll see you later, man.
Thanks, Big Rob.
Bye.
I like Big Rob.
I like Big
want him
Rob
to-
a lot.
I want him to be my friend as well.
I want Big Rob to not leave. He's great.
Next time I visit my aunt and uncle in Simi Valley, I'm gonna look up Big Rob, and we're gonna go to a La Torritos together. I can't remember the what is that? What's that Mexican restaurant that's only in California? Gran Torito? No, La Torito.
Gran
Gran
Torino.
Torino.
This is a cranky
Gran
old
Torino.
guy next door making
El
tacos.
Torito. That's it. El Torito.
Oh, all right. Is Simi
I
is
love
that a Spanish thing that I don't know? Simi for the Simi Valley part. I don't know where that comes from.
It's SIMI, and I don't know where the.
I'm
name
curious about that.
originates.
Like, is there something that's called a Simi? Is there like an animal called a Simi?
I've always thought it was a Native American name. Is it not?
No, I don't know. My mom used to say
Could be.
Simi. Like, if something was Simi, it was like sketchy. So maybe it means it's a sketchy valley. You got to be careful there. Got to watch out. with Simi Valley.
It's Chumash, he says.
Chumash.
Simi.
Or
Chumash.
Chumash? Kumish. I don't know.
Chumash.
Churmish? Chumana.
It's which refers to the stringy thread-like clouds that typify the region.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird.
Now they're full of
Sweet
smoke.
winds. That's cool.
Dunaway, we did it. Well done. It was a joint effort today. Kicked butt, took names. Go enjoy the rest of your half sandwich there. And
I've already eaten it, and
well,
it was delicious.
And we're looking
Wow.
forward to this weekend when we'll do Film Sack together again. I forgot what we're doing. What's our movie this weekend?
It's Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. I'm excited.
Pico. Look at it.
Dante's Pico de Gallo.
I'm actually excited about that one because I feel like I'm not even sure I've seen the whole
row
thing.
your boat.
Yeah, row your boat.
Gently.
Oh, that's right. There's a lot of boat rowing in that, isn't there?
No, it's not too long, but yeah, it's in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boat rowing and
In Dante's Peak. Somehow I have that in my head. Dunaway, stay
Okay.
out of trouble.
All right.
The Brian Dunaway on Twitter. Bye. Have a good one. All right. We need to take a break. When we come back, Tom Merritt will be here. We also have recommendals coming up with Nicole, so stick around for that. Brian's got music, though, before. What do you got?
yes, a brand new single from a musician named Poppongene, Poppongene. This is the third single taken from her upcoming EP. She produced this in collaboration with Tim Harvey, who also works with the bands Real Feelings, Jade Imagine, and Emma Louise. This is a pop elegy for a relationship, frustrated but ultimately accepting. I love the pop sound on this. She's just got a great vocal, and I can't remember if we've played the other single from this EP, but I totally love it. Anyway, it's Poppongene, and the song is Wet Towel.
Well, one thing you can consider is looks. Woody thought of Janice and how good-looking she was. He'd really have to rate to date somebody like her. Yes, he'd enjoy that, except, well, it's too bad Janice always acts so superior and bored. She'd make a fellow feel awkward and inferior.
Tick-tock. Tick-tock. Tick-tock.
This is the morning stream. We're gonna need a new plan.
All right, we're back, everybody. Yeah, I love this guy.
Tick-tock.
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 Tick-tock. Tick-tock.
We're back. We're doing it. We're making it happen. We got another guest to bring in here. His name's Tom Merritt. It's Wednesday. We got to pull him in. I haven't done that yet. Running a tiny bit late. He probably is aware. He's probably in the chat. He often is.
Probably.
And,
Probably.
probably. Now we'll play this.
With the computer as
Oh, you're black.
working tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
I was going to say that black man. That's no good. What am I doing here? That man is Tom Merritt. He is, of course, of the Daily Tech News Show and of the technology in general. He is here today, like he is every Wednesday, to talk about the latest in tech news. Tom, how you doing?
Well, the first thing I woke up to this morning was a text message in all caps from my dear friend Allison Sheridan, host of the NosillaCast podcast, podfeet.com, saying, "It's here!" Of course, meaning the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Allison and I kind of over the years have fallen into lockstep in upgrading our laptops. And so we were both eagerly awaiting a chance to not only upgrade a laptop, but also get a new keyboard. The big thing with the 16-inch MacBook Pro, well, the big thing, I guess, is the 16-inch screen in the 15-inch body because they reduced the bezels, but also a brand new keyboard that's scissor switch, not butterfly. Where's my applause? There we go.
Yay! Finally, they fixed it.
Cool. And they've got the touch bar on this one, right?
Yes, there is a touch bar with an escape key. A physical escape key. I said it in a way that made it sound like there was an escape key on the touch bar, which everyone's like, yeah, we already knew that.
It's already got a stupid escape key.
No, yeah, there's a physical escape key to the left of the touch bar now. Cool. The touch bar is still there. The fingerprint ID switch is still there. They also made the arrow keys T-shaped again.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I like a good T-shape.
Right, because they were, right, you got on mine... Yeah, they were like a block with the up and down half size and the left and right full size.
So I can retire my hat that said, "Make arrow keys T-shaped again."
What color was that hat, by the way?
It was like puce, I think. I don't know.
Oh, puce. I like
Make
a good
arrow
puce.
keys T-shaped again. Macza.
Well, it could be Maxa. Make Mac arrow keys. Yeah.
You know what's great is we're finally.
No, that makes it too hard.
We're finally back in a place where the large form factor, but in a smaller case. But not since the 17-inch old MacBook Pro back in the day have we gotten this big. Also, this makes me wonder if this is the direction I should go, because I've been having this fight. Like I'm getting a little long in the tooth. 2013 is when I last upgraded.
Yeah, I've been measuring your teeth.
Yeah, thank you. And the problem is Mac Pros, the new cheese grater thing that's not out yet, is completely overpriced and out of my range. The other option for a more pro level thing is a iMac Pro, which is also way too expensive.
Yeah. Instead, you can get a MacBook Pro, which is also way too
expensive. So what is this thing like starting at 23 or?
Not to interrupt, I'll just want to throw this in here. The MacBook Pro 16-inch replaces the 15-inch and starts at the same price, $23.99. Okay. So even though it's expensive, it's not more expensive than the 15-inch.
All right, that's my point is that's still a lot lower than any starting point for those other two desktop solutions. So I'm kind of eyeballing
it. If you're comparing it to more expensive Apple machines, it is less expensive.
Yeah, I guess this is mostly a mental game that I'm playing with myself, but yeah, I don't know. You've kind of piqued my interest, but I didn't know that they announced a date, and was this sudden?
Nope.
Okay.
They Mark Gurman, who is really good with this sort of thing, leaked yesterday that the 16-inch MacBook Pro might launch any day. There'd been tons of rumors that they were going to launch it, but when they didn't do an October announcement, a lot of folks assumed, well, I guess they're going to launch it after the first of the year. But instead, it looks like what Apple did was say, you know what, we want Apple TV Plus to get all the attention, so we're not going to do an October announcement. And instead, the things they would have had in an October announcement are just trickling out, like AirPods Pro, the MacBook Pro 16-inch. And they also announced today that they confirmed that December is when the new Mac Pro and the Pro Display XDR will ship.
Up to 8 terabytes of SSD in this thing?
Right! Oh my gosh! Usually my main driver for upgrading a laptop, not main driver, it's usually processing speed is my main driver, but the main thing I look for is, can I get more storage built into my laptop? And man, can you with this. It's gonna bleed you dry. I think it's max price, if you max out everything, is $6,099. Yeah, but you don't have to go that high. I mean, that's maxing out 64 gigabytes of RAM. That's maxing out 8 terabytes of storage. There are lots of less expensive options in between.
You could also do some pretty convenient Thunderbolt 3 based external storage and some other stuff if you wanted to do that.
Totally. But I always wanted built-in, so I went with 4 terabytes.
Oh my, that's a nice jump, dude.
I wonder if I can get one of those drive upgrades for my. I have the MacBook Pro, but the previous 14-inch with the Touch Bar. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if I can get. I'll have to see if that's an available upgrade for mine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and going back to the size again, it is the same size body as the 2015 15-inch MacBook Pro, so it's a tiny bit bigger than the most recent MacBook Pro.
Okay.
For me, it's a lot. It's always about. I shouldn't say it's always about this, but it's almost always about RAM because macOS loves RAM.
It's kind of me too. I always max out the RAM. I just kind of take a deep breath and go, okay, max out the RAM. Now what else can I afford?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm pretty excited about it just because I have another option now to consider. I didn't know this was going to happen so quick. I thought this was like a 2020 thing, so that surprised me.
Yeah, I think we all did until Gurman, dropped that little bomb yesterday afternoon after Daily Tech News Show, and I thought, oh, well, maybe we'll get it this week, and then it came the very next morning, along with that news about the December release of the Mac Pro and the Pro Display XR. Mac Pro starts at $6,000. If you were wondering why Scott was saying it's way too expensive, but that's cheaper than the maxed out 16-inch MacBook Pro.
That's true. But if you max out that cheese grater, that thing's like $12,000 or something.
Oh yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And of course, don't forget the Pro Display XDR that'll cost you $5,000 or $6,000 with the matte coating, and doesn't give you the stand or the Visa mount.
Yeah, that's another $1,000, by the way.
It's $999 for the stand, $199 for the Visa mount.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the iMac Pro is kind of the best Pro solution right now. If I'm sort of honestly evaluating all of this, my biggest complaint or problem is that they are definitely leaning into, here's consumer division, it's all pretty affordable. Here's Pro division, it's out of this planet expensive.
Yeah.
And at least the notebook straddles something in the middle there a little bit more than some of these other options. So I don't know. I just have to think about this.
I looked at the 16-inch MacBook Pro write-up today, and they were very much saying this is for professionals. If you are a developer, if you're a video editor, if you're a photographer, that kind of stuff, this is for you. And I've been feeling that Apple sort of was shying away from the professional market, as we were all saying for a while, because they thought, well, this stuff's just too expensive to justify for a consumer. Then they felt the cries of the professional market saying, well, screw you, Apple, I'm going to go buy Windows, and realized we're giving up a market there if we don't lean into it. So I almost feel like Apple is developing two lines now in their messaging. One is, this is for you, the consumer who just wants to create. This is for the professional. And that's why you're seeing these high prices, but great specs on things like the Mac Pro and the MacBook Pro. They're saying this isn't for consumers, which is kind of a new thing for Apple.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, the specs are bumped way up past what they would normally be at the levels we're used to in like past iterations of Mac Pro and things like that. And this notebook seems to be also following that, and also that keyboard is better. Dude,
already the reviewers have only had this thing for a day, but already the reviewers are saying that the keyboard is, because they went back to Scissor Switch.
Yeah,
they're saying that this thing is much better. It's got a tiny bit less travel than the Butterfly keyboard, but it's apparently much more responsive.
All right, well, I don't want to even think about this today. Is the 13-inch
This is
also
why I haven't upgraded my laptop. This is the longest upgrade cycle I've had on a laptop in a long time. I usually go about 18 months because I either max out something or just need to get, to try something new. This time I'm not really in it to try anything new. It's just that my old laptop is several years old now.
Showing its age, yeah. Well, like I say, I bought the trash can thing in 2013, and it's just now starting to be like, oh, okay, time to maybe start looking. And I get lots of longevity out of these guys. I know you pay premium prices, blah, blah, blah. And there's people right now listening who hate Apple and don't care about this conversation. But I'm just saying, as a Mac production unit user type person, this is now this is now on my radar. Whereas last week I was feeling kind of lost on what I was going to do.
Well, and where I'm looking at it is I am right now talking to you from a 4-year-old Mac Mini that is feeling its age.
Yeah.
I could take my laptop and use that instead of the Mac Mini. I could take my Windows machine, which is perfectly wonderful, and use that. But I would like to keep the laptop and the production machine separate, and so I think this is how I justify that.
Right. And part of me is like, I just want to plunk it down, shut the lid, plug a Thunderbolt splitter off into it, and just use it as a core machine. I don't know.
Use it as a core machine.
Yeah.
Yep.
That I can take if I need to.
That's what I want to do with this.
Yeah, I can take it somewhere if I need to. So
that way I've got a laptop. Actually, I've got a Chromebook. So I don't know. I may give this one to Roger or something, but I've got a laptop for around the house use. I just keep that new 16-inch MacBook Pro as my production machine. And then when I travel, I just take the production machine with me.
See?
Right?
Yeah. It's not like you don't have to dupe everything. You just have it all with you.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking. Also, did you hear about Sony bringing back cartridges for the PS5?
No, I missed this. Is this for real?
Oh, we're right out of time. I'm sorry. You'll have to tune into DTNS. No, real quickly, it's a patent, so who knows? Okay. But it is intriguing. The idea of the patent is to have proprietary, because it's Sony, going back to their roots, proprietary solid-state drives that you could slot in and out from an accessible solid-state drive port on the PS5.
Oh, look at these look like carts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It wouldn't be game cartridges. I think the idea is you do all your downloadable stuff on them for a particular game or two, maybe.
Yeah, it's additional drives.
If
basically,
you're like, oh, I'm maxed out on space, you just swap in a different drive for a different game.
Yeah, it's like cartridges with massive capacity that you would still kind of use as cartridges, except it's just like stuff you've downloaded. Yeah. That's amazing. All right. Cool. More on that today on DTNS. I'll be on that episode, so looking forward to it today. That's at 2:30 Mountain Time. Go check out dailytechnewsshow.com for details. Tom Merritt, anything else you want to mention?
No. If there are folks who like independent tech news that's driven only by what we think, and our own opinions, and is just run by 3 scrappy folks who want to bring you the tech news, then support us. Patreon.com/DTNS.
That sounds fantastic. Tom Merritt, everybody. Ace Detect on Twitter. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
See you, Tom.
Or later today, as they say in English.
Later today.
Later. All right. So let's do this. Here's the other thing I want to say real quick about hard drives.
Sure.
I'm done with spinning drives forever. I don't ever want another spinning drive. I want SSD until I'm dead. So Don't even give me no hybrid drives. Don't give me none of that.
Make it an option.
It's not even an option anymore. And I know it's not, it's the prices are way down on SSD more than they ever have been, but I know they're also not perfect yet. But I am telling you, screw you, spinning drives. Screw you.
And the drive you rode in on.
There you go. Their little spindle thing that has to be in the right place, and if you bump it too hard, you lose data. F that. What are we talking? This is like using a phone or something, like an old dial phone.
What the heck is that kind of technology?
7,200 RPMs.
No place in today's world.
Sit and spin on this spinning drive.
Right.
All right. Well, I've had my way.
Do we have have we stalled long enough for you to get Nicole?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see here. There she is. She's showing us online. Should be joining us shortly. And we will dive in deep with Nicole time if she answers. Oh, she's there. Hi, Nicole.
I'm right there.
Oh, hi. There she is. Wait, I'm playing this now. Hey, you guys, check it out. Nicole Spag, all the way from also Colorado, joining us today. It's good to have you here. How the heck are you?
I'm doing much better.
Yeah?
I got over that cold, and
You and Brian had a similar kind of cold. It was like a 4-day thing, and then you guys were good.
Killed my throat.
We haven't made out for months, so it couldn't have come from that.
Mark.
Well, I was just thinking the other day, Brian. I'm like, I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. Yeah, you moved here to Colorado just to be near me, and how much time have we spent together? None.
How far?
We spend at least 20 some odd minutes together every week.
We have our virtual time. Yes.
How far away is the drive? If I had to drive an hour?
No.
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
I thought you said an hour.
Yeah.
No, it's like a half an hour.
Yeah.
In fact, we were up by you.
There's a little red on-air light on the top of it, too.
We were at Duluth in Golden.
Duluth. Oh, Duluth beer?
No, Duluth Trading Company.
Duluth Trading Company, okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
so we went there, and they're a sponsor of ours, so we're like, hey, let's go to the store and check it out. It's actually a really cool store.
And you didn't say, hey, we're in your neighborhood. Let's grab a coffee or something. Oh, thanks.
Our
fine,
kids are crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, they're at that age where, especially Ava, she just turns on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like a little time bomb that I'm waiting for her to blow.
Yep.
And then the kids were hungry, and no, I want chicken. I'm like, just get out of here.
We've got rooms that we can lock from the outside that don't have any expensive electronics in them. We can make this work.
Do the kids often say, I want chicken? I love that. Is that a thing?
Mateo.
Like chicken fingers, chicken nuggets.
Yeah, popcorn chicken is his thing right now.
Oh, man. I am with that kid. I used to love popcorn chicken. I could eat it now, but won't because I can't eat fried food anymore.
But yes, Brian, we need to get together soon.
Yes.
Yeah, get on that, you guys, because it's like a 10-hour drive for me. I'm not coming out there.
Exactly, yeah.
Something like that. All right, well, Nicole, it is time for our weekly foray into recommendals. We take stuff from services that we like, and we play them right here on the show. Now, as tradition dictates, Brian begins this here mess. And, Brian, I've got a clip for you here. Do you have any setup for this?
Play the no, I'm just gonna say this is a brand new 2019 film that just started streaming, and it's cute and it's a lot of fun.
All right, well, here it is. Enjoy.
Maybe it's a prank, a YouTube thing, a social experiment. Maybe there were hidden cameras. Look, there's something written on the guard. Put it into Google Translate. Gladius Arturi Thilius Tintageli. It's Latin. It means Sword of Arthur, son of Tintagel. Who's Tintagel? It's a place. An island off the coast of Cornwall. Some people say it's where King Arthur was born. Alex, what if you're the only person who could have pulled that sword out? What if it's the sword in the stone?
I heard this was good. I don't remember the name. Say the name. What's the name?
The name is The Kid Who Would Be King.
Yeah, I heard this was
Netflix,
like better than it's supposed to be.
HBO
kind of thing.
Now or HBO Go.
Okay.
This is a really cute retelling of not really retelling, but like a modern day King Arthur, Sword in the Stone, Excalibur thing. And it's got
This
your
year,
Patrick
huh?
Stewart in it. Yeah, it just came out in January. This would be totally appropriate for Mateo. I mean, there's some skeleton monsters that chase them a little bit, that might be the scariest part of it, but I think that they'd probably be okay.
Yeah, I bet you he would like this.
And it stars basically the only person you've ever heard of is Patrick Stewart, is Captain Picard. However, you've also
He's Merlin,
got
right?
He's Merlin. He's old Merlin. They've got an old Merlin and young Merlin.
I thought you said he plays Captain Picard in this. I was like, what? Wait,
yeah,
what?
That would be great. Wouldn't it be awesome?
Wow.
However, the main kid is this kid named Louis Circus, who is the son of Andy Serkis.
Oh, cool.
The main character is Andy Serkis's kid, and he's really good. He's great. He's great in this thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cute. Tina's like, let's watch that. I wanted to see that. And I'm like, all right, I wanted to watch something with nudity and violence and gore, but okay.
Can't always get what you want, Brian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
so you just got the nudity then. Oh, wait. This movie doesn't. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. It's it's a fun, it's pretty much what you'd expect, but there's a lot of fun stuff in there, and totally worth checking out. The Kid Who Would Be King. I kept calling it The Boy Who Would Be King, and when you're searching for that, you don't find it. But The Kid Who Would Be King, and it's in HBO.
Well, around
HBO Now.
Right. Around these parts, the word on the street was that it was way better than it had any right to be, and felt like an earnest attempt to do a kind of a Harry Potter style thing, but with more traditional material, like not it's based on Arthurian legend and that. And then it actually came off well. The kids are good actors. Like you buy into it. Like I like that. I like when something like that can happen. So
yeah, and it doesn't feel cheap and lame and like money grab. Let's just get some kids into theaters kind of thing. It feels heartfelt and really well produced. Well done.
Well, I have good news for you guys before I play my thing. Nicole, you're responsible for this ultimately, I think, but Brian also reinforced it. Finally got down to watching. I think I mentioned it on Monday as well, but I started watching Life in Pieces, and that show is amazing and
isn't it?
Really funny. Like,
maybe
one of the funniest comedies maybe ever. I don't know. It's so funny that finding out that they canceled that for 4 seasons just depresses me to no end.
Did they cancel it? I didn't hear that.
They did, yeah. May 10th it got canceled, and the last season kind of closes things out pretty well.
Okay, because I started watching a new show called The Unicorn that has Boyd from Justified in it.
Oh, wow.
And the mom from Life in Pieces showed up, and I said, oh no, did her show get canceled?
Which mom from Life in Pieces?
She's
Marie
the
from...
doctor's wife.
Oh, okay, that's
Betsy,
Marie from.
Yes.
Yeah,
so she
great.
shows up in The Unicorn, and I was like,
Hank's wife too.
Yeah, Hank's wife. I always think of her just Hank's wife, but she's really.
That's funny.
She's really funny. She
is really funny, and she bounced around from so many shows after Breaking Bad. Like she was on that Michael J. Fox thing as his wife, and then on Life in Pieces as his wife, and then now on.
She's everybody's wife. She's great. Yeah.
Dan Bacadal, by the way, is the guy who was on. He was the dentist on Life in Pieces. He's the really foul-mouthed guy on Veep. The dude is fantastic. Dan Bacadal.
Yeah, he's great.
I love that show.
I really like it.
Have you gotten to the Cheeto doll yet?
Oh yeah.
I laughed so hard.
It is. I'm telling you right now. I can be in the house. It'll be at night or something. Things are quiet. Some kids are at work or something. And I'm like taking care of the dogs, and I will hear Kim in the other room laughing hysterically out of nowhere. It's her favorite thing. She freaking loves it. So I guess we have you to thank for the recommendation, and it sucks that it's. You know what it reminds me of? And it was only 2 seasons for that, but it reminds me of Better Off Ted, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And that was also an incredibly funny show. I'm telling you, network TV doesn't deserve these shows. They need to go somewhere else and get them made and make them longer than 4 seasons, because that is a shame. That thing's not going to be on anymore.
And Colin Hanks is wonderful.
He's so good. Every time he yells, he sounds like his dad. It's cracking us up.
Yeah.
Cracking us up. Anyway, all right. I'll now play a clip. I kind of gave this away, I think, on Monday to Brian, but I'll play it anyway and see if anyone can figure it out. Here's a little taste.
Stand by for liftoff.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, I'll probably get
Ladies and
pulled from
gentlemen,
YouTube if it's music.
This is a live signal.
Is this really happening?
The Russians put the first man on the moon.
All right. Instead of getting in trouble.
Oh, is this a High Castle thingy?
High Castle Space. Yeah. Man in the High Spaceship.
It's called For All Mankind. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Oh. I thought it was the alternative universe of like Russia taking over.
Well, it kind of is. So it was so you're not too far off the bat. So I love Man in the High Castle, but that whole thing is with the if the Germans won World War II, and then what the alternate history from that. This is if the Russians landed on the moon first, what sort of thing. And I'm only an episode in, so I can't really speak to the entirety of the episode or to the series. I'm not even sure episode 2's out yet. Maybe it is. I'll have to check. But this is that brand new show on one of the Apple TV Plus things called For All Mankind. It's a Ron Moore joint. You know him from Battlestar Galactica and most recently that sex show. What was it called? With all the people going back in time.
The sex show.
Yeah, we're doing it all the time.
Outlander. Yeah.
Before that,
I would have been
before that, there was he was Star Trek dude. Started both DS9 and Voyager and wrote for TNG. Like that's kind of his thing. But anyway, this has got Joel Kinnaman in it, who you all know from all sorts of things, including the RoboCop remake. But I can't think of anything else all of a sudden. The Killing. That sci-fi thing that's on Altered Carbon that was on Netflix last year. Anyway, he's really great.
Oh, great, yeah.
Excuse me, Sarah Jones is great. Do you know the guy who's the sheriff's second in command on True Blood? Oh, let's see if I can find the guy. He's just kind of schlubby, and is it Chris Bauer?
Oh, the bald guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Here he is. Chris Bauer is his name.
Always plays an angry dude.
Yeah, he's always just going.
Yeah.
He was on True Blood. He was on The Wire. He was on Third Watch. Like the guy's been around forever. He plays Deke Slayton, who's this dude in charge of stuff at NASA, and he is revelatorily good in this. Like, very good, and does not play his typical. He's still a little grouchy, but it's not like the True Blood grouchy. Anyway, I really liked that first episode. I found it really intriguing and kind of. I don't know how to put this. Like, we all just live in the shadow of, hey, we were first, so that's cool. That meant we won that part of the space race, and that gave us, during the Cold War, and certainly in the thick of the Cold War, that really gave us a lot of talking points. Hey, America did it first. We did it first. We're awesome. Russia kind of sucks. They were late. Like, when that narrative changes in the show and you realize that it's the other way, it's just kind of heartbreaking. Like, you're like, and I think that's the point of the show. It's going to explore things like national pride and whether that's even a thing or whether it should be a thing, and now what are people willing to do to try to get ahead again, and will they do dirty business to get there, and dirty deeds, dark business. Like it's kind of fascinating so far. So I'm going to recommend it on just first glance. I like I say, I haven't seen the whole season, so I can't really say. But
that's
so
part
far,
of the Apple.
Yeah, it's one of their originals.
Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
It's interesting how many shows are coming out on that, because Mark's watching a show from there too. That C with is it
Momoa.
Jason Momoa?
Oh wait, we should have let her.
Why did I step in?
What is it, Momoa?
She so would have called him
you got
Jason
it right.
Mimosa.
Yeah, you were gonna say Jason
Mimosa. It would be Jason Mimosa. Damn it! Why do I have to intervene?
Is it Momoa?
It's Momoa. It's Momoa. Yes.
Momoa.
Yeah. No, actually, now I'm starting to question myself. Hold on, Jason.
Momoa.
Yes, Momoa.
Momoa.
Yeah.
But he's in it. And everybody's blind.
Right.
And so Mark is describing this show to me. I'm like, this sounds like a terrible show because everybody's going to be beautiful and they can't see. So,
so what's the point of being beautiful? Is that what you're saying?
Well, know. It's just not realistic. If you can't see other people, you're not going to comb your hair.
Right.
You're not going to do any of that stuff.
No, it's a fair point.
Right.
I mean, I've heard mixed things about it. I love the concept of.
Yeah.
I like weird genre stuff where they're like, hey, what if everybody was blind, but then someone came along who could see? What does that do to society? Like, that's an interesting premise to me. From what I've heard, though, in execution, it's just a little too WB. Everyone's hot, you know.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of it, and it does feel very WB to me. So
that's unfortunate.
It's weird.
But yeah, they've got a few. I mean, there's critical acclaim for their morning show thing, which I don't like because of the name. But
Monkey Bananas just made me laugh. Your hair looks pretty to my ears.
that is funny. That's weird, but funny. Anyway, I think this might be the most intriguing entry, although I certainly haven't checked everything out, so I can't really say. But between this and the launch of Disney Plus, I'm sort of confused about what's even on anything.
Too much. There's just too much right now.
It's a good too much, though. You get to choose.
Is that how people felt when there were only 3 channels, 4 channels, I guess, with Fox?
No.
And cable came out, and they're like, what do I do?
People don't even know until they. The problem with cable is you were forced down a road of like contract and all channels you didn't care about and all of that. In this case, it's like you can totally pick and choose. Even then, there's still going to be choice paralysis. It's like, oh, geez, what do I really want to spend my time with? I think that's a real issue. But
have you talked about Disney Plus yet?
Nah, a little bit. I've been watching The Simpsons back to back just in the background because that was my first plan when I got that service. So I've been doing that since yesterday. And that's been great.
Did you watch The Mandalorian?
Not yet. I was going to do that last night. Brian watched
first half of it, and I'm really liking it so far.
Yeah.
We watched all of it last night. It was so good.
I know. I'm so excited that everybody's telling me how great it is. I'm so happy to hear that. I was worried.
I just want to be deeper in that world, and I feel like this very episodic way, and it's, it moves a little slow, but it's okay. I loved it.
I can't wait. Space Western. That's what I want. And Star Wars. It's a perfect combo. Essential Tremor says the promo for the show I'm talking about makes it look like the astronauts are women. What? I don't understand that. They have like actual people. Like it's John Glenn, and I don't mean it's the actual people, but it's people playing actual historical figures. Like they didn't change any of that. It's not like suddenly, Chuck Yeager
Are
isn't
the Russian
suddenly...
astronauts? Are the Russian astronauts women?
No, they're dudes. I don't know what he's talking about.
It's kind of like that documentary that they explored the South winning and like what happened to everyone.
So that was supposed. So you know that. So the Benioff and Weiss guys that did Game of Thrones, their next. Do you remember that big controversial announcement? Because they announced this. They were going to do an HBO show that had the South won. Now let's do a show about what that means. They were going to do an alternate history thing, and people really balked at it because, well, it's a couple of white guys writing the show, and then they ended up not doing it. But
this was done in a documentary style, and it was kind of, goofy of sorts. But I can't remember where I was watching it, but I just kind of happened upon it, and I was like, what the heck am I watching? Because it was like Lincoln was arrested, and it was weird. It was so weird.
Well, just to finish this out with Essential Tremor, he says, okay, this is what it looked like on the trailer. The thing is, it's set in the 60s with like all the people that were there. So it's not like this isn't a show where they go, what if all the astronauts were ladies?
I know, yeah.
I
think you may have watched something else.
Yeah,
Essential Tremor.
I don't know what he's talking about. That's really weird to me. There are women in the show. Is that what you're asking? There's like some wives.
It makes it look like there were women in the 60s.
Yeah. I mean, Brian, I've heard rumors that there were women in the 60s, but I don't want to.
I can tell you there were.
Yeah.
Anachronism is what it is. It's an anachronism.
Well, anyway, let's go to Nicole. Nicole, what do you have for us today?
So back on Disney Plus, if you do have it, I would encourage you to explore the old cartoons. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales. They did an amazing job converting these to HD. They look so good.
Are you okay? I got to ask you this, because The Simpsons, unfortunately or fortunately, depending how you look at it, all of the seasons before they went widescreen in 2000 or whatever it was, have been cropped to be widescreen.
That's what they did with these two.
So these have been cropped, and a lot of people are pissed about this.
Yeah, because there's apparently some jokes in the Simpsons stuff where you don't see stuff on the outside of the screen, on the sides of the screen that you'd normally.
Yeah, like it's top and bottom. Yeah, and one of them, for example, is in the Duff Beer Factory.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Duff Light and a regular Duff Beer giant thing while they're doing a tour through the brewery, and so there's this big giant tanks, and one says Duff and Duff Light, and the pipes coming down to them in the crop version doesn't look like anything. It just looks like these have pipes. But if you get rid of the crop, there's the one pipe that comes and then goes to the same two places, which is a totally small, throwaway gag. Yeah. No one's gonna really even think about it. But it's gone because they crop all that top and bottom out. It's like reverse. What do they call that? Reverse letterboxing. Gotcha. Anyway, I don't know how people feel about it in general. I can say that after about 12 episodes of that, just playing and watching, I'm not really caring that it's cropped. It's fine. It's not really having an issue, and I kind of prefer the ratio, over 4:3. But yeah,
over having
in your case, Nicole, probably the same is probably fine, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
The other thing, by the way, I've heard is Episode 4, Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope, brings the McClunky edit to the Han and Greedo fight.
Wait, the crappy one?
No, it's the one where they shoot at the same time, but Han hits Greedo.
Yeah.
But right before Han shoots him, Greedo goes, McClunky, and then
we started to watch New Hope after we watched the.
Yeah, you gotta go watch at least that scene where Greedo, like it's the the Greedo voice, McClunky.
Did they say McClunky? That's amazing.
McClunky.
All right, I'm in to this. I wondered about that because I saw they were all there, but I didn't know which edits they were. So
yeah,
interesting.
I will also encourage you. One of the things that I watched when we had the Disney Channel, we get home and watch the Disney Channel, and they would always show like old Kurt Russell Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wonder if they're gonna have them, and they do. So The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes and The Strongest Man in the World.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see a very, very young Kurt Russell in a silly comedy, those are the two for you.
Aren't those great?
Classic.
I love them.
I love them.
Yeah,
I love them.
I love those movies.
So.
Yeah, me too. I'm waiting for The World's Greatest Athlete. That was one I remember seeing as a kid, at least twice in theaters. And for whatever reason, it was the Disney movie, the live-action Disney movie that my mom kept dragging me to. And
wait, what's that one called? What?
It's called The World's Greatest Athlete. And
is that Kurt Russell?
No. I'm trying to remember who it is. Somebody who went on to do other things. Let's find it here. The World's Greatest Athlete.
Here it is. 73 American feature. Walt Disney.
Jan Michael Vincent was the guy. So it's almost like a Tarzan story where they pull this guy out of the jungle, and it's Jan Michael Vincent, Tim Conway, Roscoe Lee Brown, and he turns out to be this amazing athlete that can like run faster than anybody, and he's stronger than anybody, and of course he can swing on vines faster than anybody.
Oh yeah, look at this. Go ahead.
Dice Tomato, yes. The Flight of the Navigator is in Disney Plus as well.
Oh, well, now FilmSack has no excuses left. We got to watch it.
Yeah.
That's great. I noticed a whole bunch of stuff I forgot were Disney productions. Like I love the movie Miracle, right? the hockey game, Russia versus U.S. Miracle thing from the 80s. Well, it wasn't made in the 80s, but I love that. Speaking of, what's his name? I can't think of names now. Names are dumb. Not going to say any names anymore.
Well, and all the Pixar shorts are in there. There's so many I missed, and I didn't go to every single Pixar movie in the theater, and those were always in front of those.
Yeah.
And the kids always see them on Amazon. I'm like, I'm not paying $2 for a 5-minute clip.
Right, exactly. I don't care how much that little dumpling's going to make me cry.
I know, right?
It makes me hope that HBO Max, which is
did buy that one.
Oh, you did? I hope HBO Max has has all the old Warner Brothers cartoons, because that's a Warner Brothers joint, that Max service that's coming. As if we don't have enough of these.
Really?
But supposedly all the Warner Brothers stuff from ever and always will be there, and I would hope that all the old cartoons would be there, because I'm huge fans of that as well. I was never much of a Mickey Mouse cartoon guy when I was a kid, That stuff seemed really old and lame to me compared to, I don't know, Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner stuff that just seemed more edgy and more my thing. But I think I would appreciate it more now. So yeah, I'll probably dig into it.
They have the new Mickey cartoons. I did see those listed.
How's that? I never saw that. Those
we
any
talked
good?
about it on Recommendals because they show those now in like the Disney hotels. So they're a little like we talked about. Goofy's ugly, like it's a weird style,
right,
but they're great.
They're more stylized than the ones we're used to. Yeah, they're saying that the Black Hole is on the Disney Plus service. I didn't think it was. I was looking for it to put it on our film sack list. Apparently, it is on there, and by golly, it will be on our film sack. list.
Yeah, we don't do that with them. We're terrible. We're terrible.
We don't deserve to be an award-winning podcast.
Yeah, it has to. It has to happen. I'll throw that trophy against the wall if we don't do Black Hole.
Right.
That's what we're doing. Hey, listen to this. I found that real quick. We're just going to hear this Greedo scene because I don't know that I remember him saying this. So here it is. McClunky.
McClunky.
How come I didn't know about that? That's amazing.
Yeah. I want somebody to edit in like a scene, like right before he says that, it cuts to another shot of the canteen where a guy walks in, like, "Hey, good evening, everybody," and then everybody in the bar goes, "McClunky," and that's when like he's the norm of the cantina.
I'm gonna go proper capture that from the service so that I got a good version of it. That's really good. All right, Nicole, sorry. Back to you.
Okay, I guess I should give you my official.
Yeah, actually get your actual recommendal.
Yeah,
all right, here you go. Here's my clip. Look away, Brian.
Yeah, look away.
Okay. Look away, look away.
Avert your eyes. All right, here we go.
Look away.
I'm hitting play. Here we go.
I would suggest to you that it is neither prudent nor wise to be a half hour late returning from lunch, especially when it's your first day on the job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry I'm late.
It's okay, Piggy. Everything's been going wrong lately. Get your new French perfume here, Cal de France. Piggy, is something wrong? Can we talk?
No, I'll be fine. I'll be just bien.
Sorry.
Get your Cal de France. It's French. It's feminine. It'll help you grab one of those rotten, stinking men.
All right.
I don't recognize any of those actors or actresses. I made the joke in the chat room. I said, "Oh, is that The Devil Wears Pork?"
Yeah, there you go. Porka. So which Muppet is which? I closed my eyes so I couldn't see the title. Which Muppet movie is this?
This is Muppets Take Manhattan, and that was Joan Rivers and Miss Piggy, and the scene is probably one of my favorite scenes in any Muppet movie because they start hitting each other with like makeup, and I think it looks like it was ad-lib because they have a fun time in the scene.
And this was only like after 3 new faces for Joan Rivers, right?
Yeah, I guess.
This third or fourth face.
Ago.
Yeah.
So this came out. I didn't realize it because I was watching it and I was like, "Oh, this is where Muppet Babies came from." There's a whole scene of the Muppets as babies in the nursery, and I looked at the timeline, and the movie came out in January. Muppet Babies, the cartoon, released in I think September later that year.
Wow. That's unfortunate. I hate Muppet Babies. They're awful.
I love Muppet Babies. Bite your tongue.
They're awful. They're so bad.
You're awful. That Muppet Babies is wonderful.
Wow. That got dark quick.
Yeah. Finally found an area where Nicole and I have complete and total disagreements.
You really don't like Muppet Babies?
No. You know what it is? I don't like any time they do this.
Nobody likes Muppet Babies. Nicole, come on.
The Bugs Bunny.
Obviously, I do.
Listen, the Bugs Bunny one where they are all kids, that also sucks. I think that just sucks.
Anytime you childify things that we like, it's bad. It's bad. You can't find a good example.
Yeah, there are no good examples. I can't think of any good examples.
A bunch of people in the chat room love Muppet Babies too. I'm not alone. Anyway,
it's you typing. It's you pretending your different names in the chat room. And you just keep typing the same thing over and over again.
Tiny Toons. Yeah, Tiny Toons was great too.
Oh no, it wasn't.
We're tiny. We're toony. We're all a little loony.
We're
What
the
is
worst
wrong?
idea
You should
on the
just watch
planet.
Animaniacs if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Like Animaniacs did the same thing so much better.
Now, when someone in the chat says Young Sherlock was good, we're not talking about that. Here's my biggest complaint. If you're going to do Tiny Toons, make it well made, like animate it well. It looked like garbage and the jokes were terrible. It was nothing like Looney Tunes. That's the other thing. Tiny Toons better than Animaniacs. Dice Tomato, we're going to have to stop being friends.
Kick ban.
Oh. What was wrong with
Who
everybody?
knew that Muppet Babies and Tiny Toons would be so divisive?
Well, I'll tell you what, Nicole, here's the thing. Here's how Muppet Babies would have worked. If they were damned puppets and not a hand-drawn cartoon. Yeah.
I don't know. I loved it. I mean, it was like part of my, Saturday morning cartoons.
I don't know who they were making that for, but I know now. I know
Me. They were making it for me.
I know who it's for now.
I'm younger than you.
I know. No. That's the other thing is I was clearly aging out of anything Muppet Babies had to sell me, but I still appreciate a kid's thing here and there. Like that just seemed bad and cash grabby. I don't know.
I loved it. It was wonderful.
All right.
Anyway, Muppets Take Manhattan is streaming on Pluto Kids. So Pluto is an app that it's basically tried to take online streaming content and put it in a more passive viewing experience. And I still have the app and I'll go into it every once in a while, and it actually integrates in with the Amazon Recast. So when I go into my Amazon Recast and look at the channel guide, it shows the Pluto channels too, which is kind of cool. And that's how I found it. So yeah, you can go on Pluto Kids and it'll, wait around for an hour or so.
I'd be surprised that the Muppet stuff isn't on Disney Plus because doesn't Disney own the Muppets?
They do.
They do, but they don't have any of.
Well, they own. They don't have it all. It's a weird ownership thing, right? Because I think they have
joint.
Like with Workshop, they have some kind of deal, and I can't remember.
They do have the Muppet movie, which was released in '79.
Right. Yeah. Right.
They have Great Muppet Caper, Muppet Treasure Island, but they don't have Muppets Take Manhattan.
Huh.
I think it might just be
Frank Welker was the voice of Baby Kermit and Baby Beaker.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Howie Mandel played Animal, and maybe another
Did
one.
he?
Yeah. It was '84.
Peter
I was
Foggy
4.
the Bear.
It was '84, so I was like 14, and I was probably making fun of my sisters for watching Muppet Babies. That's probably why. I was a jerk young teenager.
Yeah, if you were 14, that wasn't for you.
Yeah, I was an a-hole then. So, yeah. And there's people on IMDb agree with you. It's like got a 7.5 out of 10 average. That's pretty high on IMDb. There's
and there's a reboot.
Yeah, they redid it.
Is it any good?
My
or is
nieces love it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 2018. Yeah, there it is. But one would presume, I think anything that is Muppet related, like Kermit and Crew related, that stuff will all eventually be on Disney Plus, because not everything's there. Like George of the Jungle's not there yet. My daughter's upset about that. But it's like they start with the cream. They get
talking about the Brendan Fraser George of the Jungle.
Yeah, she loves that movie. Loves
Does
it.
she?
Oh yeah. But it was the same deal. She was a kid. She loved it when she was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same thing for me in Greatest Athlete, right? It's like, it looks like garbage now, but it's like, no, I have a special place in my heart for that movie.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Oh, Jenny Slate is in the new Muppet Babies. I like her a lot.
The only name I recognize in the new Muppet Babies.
Oh, but this is what, 3D looking? Oh, this looks all right. Okay, well, at least that's closer to a damn puppy or a puppy. That's close enough to a Muppet for me. I don't know why I said puppy. Do I smell toast? Oh yeah.
So
it looks
I
like
got a
it's
question.
3D.
You think the Muppet Babies should have been actual puppets? Have you seen Muppets Take Manhattan? Because they are puppets and they're kind of creepy.
Oh,
like I took
it's been
some
a long
pictures
time.
on so I kind of like that they were cartoons, and not to mention they wouldn't have been able to keep up a every week kind of schedule for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would have been hard, but I don't remember enough about it. I mean, I assume like the Muppet Show, we all take it for granted. It was probably a huge, hard production constantly. Like making that show was hard. And so I imagine that doing a whole nother Muppet thing with a million Muppets and then you had to have sets and everything. Like it makes total sense they did a cartoon. It just, to me, it's like, if you're going to make a cartoon of Muppets, what's the point of having Muppets? Like, just make
Yeah, but this 3D animated thing looks really disturbing.
It's kind of freaky, isn't it? This new one?
Yeah.
There's the Muppet Baby clip from the movie where it's a song that Miss Piggy sings.
Huh. All right.
You got Ralph on the piano.
Ralph's the best, man.
All the diapers. All the friggin' Muppets in diapers.
Yep. That's what they should just call it, Muppets in Diapers. Don't call them Muppet Babies. Call it the worst idea
How come
ever.
we've never seen a Muppet go to the bathroom?
No, because they don't.
It looks like pulling lint out of a belly button.
Yeah. They you pull your hand out and it feels good. It feels like you've made a difference in your day. All right, Nicole, this is great.
Yes,
check it
there you
out. It's Muppets Take Manhattan. Where'd you see it again?
Pluto TV. It's a free app that you can download, and they're playing it under Pluto Kids, which and a lot of old cartoons there too. So a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog. Did I say that right? Sonic.
Yeah, no, you did definitely not say that right.
I think you said Julian Assange the Hedgehog is what I heard. That was weird. That was very odd.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, and my guess is all that Muppet stuff will be on Disney Plus before you know it. So
yeah,
watch for that.
I don't know. Somebody said in the chat room that Disney doesn't own it.
Well, they own something.
They're owned by TriStar, which then I guess Sony bought out TriStar, and so that's why it's not on Disney Plus.
But it says, hold on. I know there's Disney. There is something with the Disney. Here it is.
Something
okay.
with the Disney.
The Muppets. Yeah, here it is. The Muppet Studio, currently owned by the Walt Disney Company.
The studio, yes.
Yeah, but that might be the thing. Older content may not be included in that. So if they're going to do something new, like a new Muppet movie, that's a Disney production.
Exactly.
Right.
Sidian says it's those three films: Muppets Take Manhattan, Muppets in Space, and Kermit Swamp Tales.
Are what? Owned by somebody else?
Well, and then you also
Sony,
have Muppet Family Christmas, which is Sesame Street and Muppets. And that's really hard to find.
I always liked those crossovers. Those were fun.
I love the crossover.
I mean, Kermit's the ultimate crossover, right? Like, he was in all of it, but yeah, I wish they just owned all of it so I could get it all in one place, but that's fine.
Totally.
That's
totally.
fine.
Yeah.
Go to Pluto. Go to Pluto when you have to.
Pluto.
Which is ironically
and if Disney
character.
Plus doesn't put the Star Wars Holiday Special on when we get closer to December, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Yeah. I wonder who owns that thing. I wonder if they just that wasn't even part of the trade. Who knows?
Right. You guys can hold you can hold on to that one.
Yeah,
George.
There is no Star Wars episode here.
Right. This doesn't exist.
I have the only copy of that on VHS.
It's at my mansion. You can't have it. Nicole's back, everybody. That's her Twitter account also. So if you want to follow her and find out what we talked about today, that's a way to do it. Nicole, have a fantastic week. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Julian Assange. What'd she say? What was the name?
Assange the Hedgehog.
The Hedgehog. Assange the Hedgehog.
She said McClunky the Hedgehog, I think is what she said.
Did you see the new design for the Sonic movie? It looked all right.
I did. Yeah. It's like that's what it should have been. It should have looked like a three-dimensional realized version of the video game character, not this weird dude in a bad furry suit.
Yeah, definitely better. So we'll see how that all plays out. I mean, it's still probably a bad movie, but whatever.
Oh yeah. No, it's gonna be garbage, but at least it'll look better.
It'll look a lot better. All right. One thing we didn't mention earlier was Brian has Coverville. Are you doing it today? Coverville today?
I am. Yes. After a week off to convalesce with whatever it was I had last week, probably a cold. I'm coming back with an episode for the 70th birthday of Bonnie Raitt. She's a musician that came around in that Jackson Browne, Linda Ronstadt, that California pop kind of thing. She was a backing vocalist on Warren Zevon's first album. Her first big single was a cover of Runaway. And she's done a lot of great covers over the years, especially ones that turned into big singles for her. Other people have covered her, and it's time to celebrate her and that weird gray streak in her hair.
Nice.
Bonnie Raitt today, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Coverville on Twitch, twitch.tv/Coverville.
Today you'll find out how Bonnie rates in 2019.
How does she rate?
How do you rate? All right. That's it for the show. Thank you all for being here. We are. Oops, I'm on the wrong page. There we go. We're done. That's the end of the show. Hey, tomorrow we'll do this again. And we'll have Wendy on and all that. It's already Thursday tomorrow. What is this week?
It's already Thursday.
All right. I need to stop being shocked by the passage of time.
I know.
It's not good for me.
Is it? What is it? It's already 2019? What?
I swear we just did recommendals with Nicole like 5 seconds ago. Well, we did today, but
We did just do recommendals 5 seconds ago.
I mean the one before it. Like, it just is like wham, wham, wham. And not the band. Anyway, that's it. Today I'll be on DTNS. Tonight we have Core. So yes, more podcasts this evening. Core starts at 7 p.m. Mountain, and I don't know if we're doing games after that or not.
DTNS 2:30. So
yep.
Watch some music. Watch me play the spin the hits on Coverville, and then slide right into DTNS, and then grab a bite, and then come back for Core.
Yeah, it's a full day's entertainment.
That's right. Maybe I'll get some more stupid rep from that stupid Mechagon area.
Did you go in there today? Did you, or yesterday when you were planning on it? Did you get any?
I did. I got in there last night and did 45 minutes, and boy, that you got to have if you don't have flying in Mechagon, you just got to spend the spare parts and get the backpack and fly around there.
Oh, that's the only way to go. Yeah, you're totally right about that. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for being here. Patreon.com/TMS is how you support this nonsense. You can also find everything else, including that link, over at frogpants.com/TMS. That includes a place to submit songs for requests and all that sort of stuff. It's all right there at frogpants.com/TMS. All right, Brian, take us out with a song, please.
Sure. So I'm going to play something for you that's really cool, and I want you to celebrate how cool it is. And eschew anything that tries to detract from how cool it is, or anybody that might try to steal it. There's been a lot of stealing of cover songs lately. We go back to that Jonathan Colton thing on Glee. They also stole the Petra Hayden cover of Don't Stop Believin'. It's happened again, Scott. It's happened again. The Masked Singer Australia copied this great band's cover of Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. I'm going to call her Billie Eilish. There's this band called Halocene, Halocene. They're a cover band that records stuff on YouTube and Twitch. They're fantastic. They're really, really good. And they came out with this really transformative cover of Bad Guy. And Masked Singer just basically copied it note for note, did a new arrangement, and had somebody down under sing it. But we're going to play the actual one. You're going to go, you're going to listen to this. You're going to love it. You're going to go to the iTunes store or Amazon Music or wherever you buy your music, and you're going to buy it and help support this great band, Halocene. It is the Bad Guy single from Halocene. Here it is now.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
That's why I'm so happy with Shake and Bake.
Oh.
Way better than Wake and Bake.